Hi, this is Michael Jeffrey Peters again, concerning Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer, who lied in my son's medical record, saying I didn't give him one of his meds for 1 month, 2 months I had him, to give my wife custody. After 2 failed attempts to elicit CPS and failing, she then had to lie on my son's medical record, faxed it from Texas Children's Hospital at 6:39 in the morning to my wife's attorney to use that lie to take my son from me. Now, as you can see in some of the other videos with this private investigator, she hired a private investigator to stalk me at my house at 23307 Green Forest Street, Hoppy, Texas, 77447. The neighbors, who are ex-police officer, let this private investigator stalk me from right across the street, tearing up their yard in the mud and rain, to park over there and stalk me. He had 5 different vehicles. Now, why would Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer hire a private investigator to stalk me? Why would she do that? She's a doctor at Texas Children's Hospital. Now, she's done this before where she's lied and caused other people problems, like a man named John Calderon, who came up to me while I was picketing the hospital with a big sign of Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer, calling her a fraud and a liar. She never sued me for that, and I stood out there for 2.5 months. It makes you wonder why she never sued me. If I called you a fraud and a liar, maybe in public, maybe you'd sue me. Why hire a private investigator to stalk me? Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer is a fraud and liar, corrupt as she can be, using her power and privilege to steal children from their family. I'm unable to see my son now because of this corruption. Texas Medical Board jumped on board protecting him, simply saying that the doctor was right. Well, the doctor's only, what's her evidence that she's saying that I told her I didn't give my son that med for 1 month out of 2 months I had him. Which is funny because I went to a nurse and social worker because CPS told me to at Texas Children's Hospital, both verifying I had the meds and knew how to give them. Plus, I bought the medications at Texas Children's Hospital and Walgreens 3 different times in 2 months. His lab results were always positive. CPS closed the case, not believing Dr. Dreyer. Yet, Dr. Dreyer is simply able to get away with this by saying, I told her I said that, and everybody believes her. The courts at the 418th in Conroe, Texas, Judge Tracy Gilbert, Judge Jennifer Robbins, his associate, that sold selling my property. Another judge came in at the very end, because Judge Gilbert probably decided to bow out at the end, and they sold my property for $103,000, which was previously listed for $187,000 by Century 21. And she is a good friend of the judge, who've known this Judge Esquire for 30 years. Well, any judge would probably bow out of letting his friends take jobs for him, because people might seem to think that he was getting a kickback out of this. So they stole my son through a lie, and they stole my property. I haven't got a penny for it, and they did it because my wife from El Salvador doesn't have a green card. She's had a brain tumor and lost her memory. Yet she's taking care of my son who's got cancer. And they did this because they can do whatever they want to the poor people here in Texas. Starting with Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer, and they're not going to do anything to her because her husband's William Dreyer is also working at Texas Children's Hospital. Both of them are employed at Baylor College of Medicine. And this is where all the money comes from. These administrations at Baylor and Texas Children's Hospital are paying for campaigns, paying for these people, paying for this protection, have the money to send out private investigators to my property. And all this seems to be quite all right with the state of Texas. And the Texas Medical Board, it simply says she's right. Well, first said, they told me, well, we don't do anything with criminal and civil matters, and canceled my complaint to them. Then when I appealed it, they said the doctor was right and canceled it again. Well, how could the doctor be right? Were they in the room, have a recording of me telling this doctor I didn't give my son that med for a month? Without the overwhelming evidence, it's in the medical, the pharmacy receipts, the nurse and the social worker who verified I had them, CPS, his lab results. This doctor, while she was trying to manipulate CPS, said I was giving him his meds. And then when that failed, that she couldn't manipulate them to doing the dirty work, then she lies in the medical report and sends it to my wife's attorney. This is the state of Texas, and I'm pleading for anybody who can help me fight this corruption. The jury said that I have joint custody of my son, but I can't ever see my son. This lies and fraud perpetrated on the poor in Texas and stealing a man everything that he has worked for in Iraq should be stopped. My son deserved that land, a nice place to live. He's dying of cancer, and Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer is still his doctor, raking in the money from his treatments. This has to stop. God bless Texas. Amen.